Get ready for the most heartwarming and touching story about two adorable rabbit brothers you'll ever hear today. Deep in the enchanted forest, beneath an old oak tree, lived two absolutely adorable bunny brothers living together every day. Their names were Thumper and Cotton, and they shared one cozy underground burrow together every single day of their lives. But here's the big problem. These two brothers constantly argued about absolutely everything all the time without stopping. They fought over who got the softest spot to sleep in their shared bedroom nightly, never agreeing on anything at all. They bickered about whose pile of acorns took up too much space in their storage room, blaming each other constantly. They even argued about who should greet visitors at the burrow entrance every single morning when the sun came up. Their constant fighting made their cozy little home feel cramped, uncomfortable, and really quite miserable for both of them every day. But something incredible was about to happen that would change their lives forever. Everything would transform soon. This is a beautiful story about sharing, kindness, and discovering what truly matters most in family life and relationships. So snuggle up close, get comfortable, and let me tell you this amazing and wonderful tale together right now. You're about to learn the most important lesson these two rabbit brothers ever discovered in their lives. Now, let me describe their underground home so you can picture it perfectly and clearly in your mind right now. The burrow had 3 main rooms connected by narrow tunnels underneath the forest floor, creating a perfect home completely hidden. There was a bedroom with soft moss beds, a storage room for food, and one main entrance tunnel going outside. Thumper, the older brother, had fluffy gray fur and big brown eyes that sparkled with mischief every single day. Cotton, the younger one, had pure white fur and the softest, floppiest ears you ever saw in your life. Even though they loved each other deeply, they just couldn't stop arguing every single day without fail at all. Every morning started with Thumper complaining that Cotton's pile of carrots was too large and took up valuable space always. And Cotton would immediately respond that Thumper's collection of berries took even more space than his carrots ever did. By afternoon, they'd be fighting over who got to nap in the sunny, warm spot underground where light came in. The truth is, they were both being a little bit selfish without realizing it at all, honestly. Their mother had taught them to share when they were tiny baby bunnies many years ago in this same burrow. But somehow, as they grew bigger and older, they forgot this important lesson that she had worked to teach them. The forest animals outside could hear their arguments echoing from the burrow entrance every afternoon, carried through the trees. The wise old owl would shake his head and say these two brothers needed serious help badly. Very badly indeed. Even the friendly deer family worried that Thumper and Cotton would never learn to get along together peacefully at all. But here's what nobody knew yet. Something big was coming very, very soon to change everything completely. Nature itself was about to teach these two brothers the most valuable and important lesson of all their lives. A massive winter storm was heading toward their forest, bringing freezing cold temperatures and real danger to everyone living there. The temperature was dropping fast, and soon the entire forest would be covered in several feet of deep snow. All the forest animals were preparing their homes, gathering extra food for the long winter ahead that was rapidly approaching. Thumper and Cotton were so busy arguing, they barely noticed the changing weather outside their burrow at all right now. They had no idea that their biggest challenge was about to arrive at their door very soon. And this challenge would finally teach them what sharing and kindness really mean in the deepest sense. One evening, as the first snowflakes began falling, they heard a tiny knock outside their entrance. Knock, knock, knock. The sound was so quiet, they almost missed it completely in the wind. Thumper's ears perked up first, and he hopped quickly to the burrow entrance to investigate what was making noise. Standing there in the freezing snow was the tiniest field mouse they'd ever seen before in their entire lives. The little mouse was shivering terribly. her tiny teeth chattering from the bitter cold outside in the dangerous storm. Her name was Melody, and the storm had destroyed her little home in the meadow, leaving her with nowhere. She asked in the smallest voice, "Please, could I shelter here just for tonight, only until the storm passes?" Thumper looked at Cotton, and Cotton looked back at Thumper with uncertain eyes and worried expressions on their faces. Both brothers were thinking the same thing. Our burrow is already too crowded for us as it is right now. They'd spent the entire day arguing about space, and now someone wanted more room in their already cramped home. This was the moment that would change everything. What would they choose to do right now in this moment? Then Thumper noticed something important that made his heart suddenly feel warm and different inside his chest right now. The little mouse was holding a tiny photograph of her own family, now lost somewhere in the storm tonight. She reminded him of when he was little and needed his brother's help during scary times in his life before. Without thinking twice, Thumper said, "Come inside quickly. You'll freeze out there in this terrible weather tonight for sure." Cotton's eyes went wide with shock because his brother had invited someone in without asking for his opinion first. He was about to protest loudly, but then he saw Melody's shivering little body clearly in the cold wind. Cotton realized something important. Arguing about space suddenly seemed really silly and quite selfish now in this critical moment. So he nodded and said, "Yes, please come in. We'll make room for you somehow. We promise you'll be safe." Melody scurried inside gratefully, and the brothers closed the entrance against the howling storm outside. She was safe now. Now came the tricky part. Where would this little guest sleep in their cramped burrow tonight when space was limited? Remember, these two had been fighting over their own sleeping spaces just hours before this unexpected visitor arrived at all. But something amazing had changed in both brothers' hearts when they saw someone truly needing help in a desperate situation. Thumper immediately offered, "Melody can have my favorite sleeping spot tonight. I'll move my things somewhere else right away." Cotton couldn't believe his ears. His brother had never shared that spot with anyone before, ever in his life. So Cotton said, "I'll share my stored carrots and berries so Melody has dinner tonight. She must be starving." The little mouse's eyes filled with grateful tears as she whispered, "Thank you so much. You saved my life tonight." As they prepared the sleeping area together, the brothers worked as a team for once, cooperating perfectly and smoothly. They weren't arguing or fighting anymore because they had a bigger purpose now that mattered more than their petty problems. And this was when the magic of sharing started to reveal itself beautifully. Everything was changing now. The brothers made Melody comfortable, and something incredible happened next that amazed them both completely and changed everything forever. As they all settled in together, the burrow didn't feel cramped anymore at all, which surprised everyone in there. In fact, it felt warmer, cozier, and somehow bigger than it ever had before tonight with 3 instead of 2. How could that be? They had less space, but it felt more comfortable and spacious somehow now. The secret was simple. When you share with kindness, everything feels more abundant and wonderful in unexpected, beautiful ways. That night, Melody shared amazing stories about her adventures in the meadow during summertime blooms, captivating both brothers completely. She told them about the beautiful wildflowers, the buzzing bees, and the dancing butterflies everywhere in the warm sunshine. The brothers had never heard such wonderful tales before, and they laughed together joyfully tonight, forgetting their previous arguments. Thumper realized he'd been so focused on his own space, he'd forgotten life's simple pleasures like friendship and stories. Cotton understood that his pile of carrots meant nothing compared to friendship and helping others who truly need it. For the first time in months, the two brothers weren't arguing about anything at all tonight in their home. They were too busy enjoying Melody's company and feeling good about helping someone in need during this dangerous storm. As the storm raged outside, inside the burrow was filled with warmth laughter, and joy that surprised everyone there. This is the true magic of sharing, friends. It multiplies happiness for everyone involved in beautiful ways. The next morning, the brothers woke up feeling different somehow, refreshed and happy inside completely for the first time. The storm had passed, and the forest was covered in sparkling white snow everywhere outside, looking absolutely magical. Melody thanked them profusely, saying they'd saved her life during the terrible storm last night when she had nowhere else. She offered to leave now that the weather was better and safer for traveling back home to find her family. But wait! Thumper and Cotton looked at each other with the same thought in their minds right now. They said together, "Why don't you stay with us? We have plenty of room here for you." Truly we do. Remember, these were the same brothers who'd fought over space just 2 days ago constantly, arguing about every inch. Melody's face lit up with joy, and she accepted their generous offer to stay longer in their warm home together. Over the following weeks, something beautiful continued happening in that little underground burrow every day, transforming it into something magical. The brothers learned to organize their space better, making room for everyone's belongings efficiently and neatly, without any arguments at all. They discovered that sharing tasks made everything easier, faster, and way more fun than before when they did everything separately. Thumper gathered food while Cotton organized storage, and Melody kept their home beautifully clean always, working perfectly as a team. They had more food than ever because they worked together as one efficient team instead of competing against each other. Their burrow became the happiest place in the entire forest, filled with laughter and friendship that everyone could feel inside. Other forest animals started visiting because they heard about the brothers' amazing transformation and kindness, wanting to experience it themselves. The wise owl even said, "These brothers have learned life's greatest lesson about sharing." He was absolutely right. Now, let me tell you something amazing about sharing that scientists have actually studied carefully over many years worldwide. Research shows that children who learn to share become happier adults with stronger friendships throughout life. Scientists have proven this. When we share, our brains release special chemicals called endorphins that make us feel wonderful and happy inside naturally. It's like getting a natural happiness boost every single time we're generous to others, without needing anything else. Rabbits in the wild actually do share their burrows with other animals during harsh winters when food is scarce. Field mice, shrews, and even small birds sometimes find shelter in rabbit warrens during storms, and rabbits welcome them in. This real animal behavior inspired our story because nature teaches us about cooperation and kindness in beautiful ways every day. Here's something powerful for you to understand. Sharing doesn't make you have less of anything at all. It actually makes you feel richer because happiness multiplies when it's shared with others around you in beautiful ways. Think about a time when you shared something with a friend or family member recently. Remember how it felt inside? Didn't it make you feel good inside, even though you gave something away to them without expecting anything back? That's because humans and animals are naturally wired to cooperate and help each other survive through teamwork and sharing. Studies show that even babies as young as 18 months old naturally want to help others without being taught. Sharing is built into our DNA because our ancestors survived by working together as communities instead of being selfish. When Thumper and Cotton stopped fighting over space, they discovered they had more than enough for everyone to be comfortable. The same principle works in your life too, whether it's toys, food, or time together with people you love. Generous people report being happier and more satisfied with their lives than selfish people always, in study after study. This isn't just a cute story, friends. It's based on real scientific truth that researchers have proven. The Rabbit brothers learned what researchers have proven. Sharing creates stronger bonds between everyone involved in beautiful, lasting ways. And now you can apply this powerful lesson in your own life starting right now. Will you? Let me give you some practical ways to practice sharing, just like our rabbit brothers learned in this beautiful story. First, start small by sharing something simple with a sibling or friend today without expecting anything in return at all. Maybe let your brother or sister choose the TV show tonight, even if it's different from what you want. Or share your favorite snack with someone, giving them the biggest piece instead of keeping it for yourself every time. You'll be amazed at how good this simple act makes you feel inside your heart. It's like magic. Second, practice taking turns with toys, games, or activities instead of always going first every time without thinking of others. Remember how Thumper and Cotton learned to organize their space together so everyone was comfortable? You can too. You can do the same thing with your bedroom if you share it with siblings, working together as a team. Third, help others without being asked, just like the brothers helped Melody during the storm when she desperately needed it. When you see someone who needs help, be the person who steps up first with kindness and generosity in heart. You'll discover that helping others makes your problems seem smaller and less important than before, giving you perspective on life. Fourth, communicate with your siblings when you're feeling frustrated, instead of just arguing immediately and angrily without talking about it. Say things like, "I feel crowded. Can we work together to find a solution that works for both?" This is exactly what Thumper and Cotton finally learned after Melody arrived at their home during that winter storm. These simple steps can transform your relationships, just like they transformed the Rabbit brothers' lives. Try them today. As winter turned to spring, the three friends continued living together in perfect harmony and joy every single day happily. Their burrow became famous throughout the forest as the friendliest, warmest home of them all that everyone talked about constantly. Other animals would visit regularly, and the brothers always made room for everyone who came by to visit their home. Thumper and Cotton couldn't even remember why they'd fought so much about space before this transformation happened to them. The burrow felt 10 times bigger now, even though nothing had actually changed except their attitudes and willingness to share. They learned that a home's true size isn't measured in square feet, but in love and warmth of hearts inside. Melody taught them meadow songs. They taught her forest survival, and everyone grew wiser together every day, learning from each other. The brothers' mother visited one day and cried happy tears, seeing how they'd finally learned the sharing lesson properly. She said, "I knew you two would figure it out eventually. I'm so proud of you both today." So what's the big lesson from this heartwarming story that you can take away today? Let me tell you, sharing doesn't make you poorer. It makes you richer in the things that truly matter most in life, like
These
love.
are the things
When you open
that
your
truly
heart
matter.
and home to others, you discover abundance you never knew existed before in your life. Fighting over possessions and space only makes everyone miserable, including yourself, without any real benefit or happiness coming from it. But generosity, kindness, and sharing
the biggest
create
one
joy
just
that
for you.
multiplies for everyone involved in the situation,
thank you.
making life
It's
better
beautiful.
for all. The brothers learned this truth, and now you know it too, so use it wisely. The choice is yours. Now it's your turn to be like Thumper and Cotton by practicing sharing this week with people around you. Share this beautiful story with your siblings, parents, friends, and everyone you know right now today, so they learn too. Challenge yourself to perform one act of sharing or generosity today before you go to sleep tonight. Make it happen. Leave a comment below telling us about a time when you learned to share something important in your life. Subscribe for more amazing stories that teach valuable life lessons. And remember, sharing makes everything better. Thank you, friends.